Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 29 January 2026. Thursday night at 9. That means it's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, and it's pretty thick, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale, which I will post on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description of this video so you can peruse them at your leisure. Also in the video description at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one will help you, especially if you're a new buyer, to navigate the process of this weekly knife sale. It's entitled A Primer for Buyers. It's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. And it explains how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link pertains to you if you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your knife collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it kind of does what it says. It answers frequently asked questions from potential consignors on how this works. Now, the third link is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. On that note, today is the 29th. You have 2 days to get your parcels postmarked to take advantage of the free shipping sale for the knife service. Must be postmarked by January 31st. Check out my video regarding that to know how many knives you need to ship and what kind of box to get your free return postage. So in the all-important video description, you're going to have those 3 links at the top. Then you'll have the terms of the sale. And at the very bottom, you're going to see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps down the left side, pricing down the right. Now in the pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The one on the right is its price as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening for the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened in tonight's sale. They will ship tomorrow, Friday the 30th, with all of the as shown inventory. Not to worry though if you are the 5th or the 6th guy to get your purchased knife sharpened. If you fall outside the first 4, it'll just be a couple weeks before your knife ships all sharpened up and ready to go. Now, if you see the word sold in lieu of pricing for a given item, that's all caps exclamation point, that means it's been bought and paid for by its new owner, so no need to send an I'll take it or an inquiry about any item marked sold. I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we're going to start the sale with 6 leftover items. The first of them is our only non-knife in tonight's sale. It is from the Citizen Watch Company. I would call this a department store Citizen. It is the model number BM7550-52 Lima Pilot Watch. Blue dial, compass bezel, compass rehaut, and a big blue pilot dial. Date at 4, eco drive movement. Running -1 second for the last week, about half a second actually. I know that because it's left over from last week. Dimensions are 43, diameter 51, lug to lug, about 11 thick, and 22 millimeter lug width. Factory bracelet. It's nothing spectacular. Stamped components. Inexpensive watch. 100 meters of water resistance. Just a push-pull crown. Near mint inbox with papers, just very, very fine hairlines. And not many of those, even the clasp pretty much untouched. Retail price $375 brand new. You can find them online in the high 100s, between 160 and 195 as I did my research. We offered this last week for 110, shipped priority mail, didn't sell, dropped it to 95 bucks for the weekend, and it's still here. Somebody gets a pretty doggone nice beater watch. 85 bucks this week, shipped priority mail. Next up, how did this not sell? Honestly, it's a Kershaw, and it's going to come just in a poly Ziploc bag. It is a Link model 1776OL SW for olive and stonewashed. Scaled in OD green, hard anodized aluminum. Pocket clip will be an ambidextrous tip-up affair. And the only wear really is on the very tip of the clip. It is a speed-safe spring assist knife. Large stainless steel liner lock, black end liners. Spring assist rides on phosphor bronze. The blade is in CPM 20 CV. Blade length is 3 3/16. The handle's 4 3/8. There is your lock engagement. A little bit hard to see. That might give you a better idea. Beautiful and rock solid. Blade centering, bang on. Action, speed safe. Condition near mint, no box. Very slight clip wear noted. These are available for a Kershaw map price or web retail of $135. We offered this one last week at 85 bucks, didn't sell, dropped it to 75 for the weekend. It's still here. How can this be? Your price this week, $70, shipped priority mail, 95 if you'd like my edge on that 20 CV blade, and next day sharpening is available. That's the Link from Kershaw. Next, we have one from Protech. If you've been waiting on a Malibu and you've been waiting for the furor to die down, it has. The knife in this box is a 5401-blue Malibu flipper, reverse Tanto blade in MagnaCut, and a blue hard anodized aluminum handle. Here's the knife. It is near mint. There is some very fine pocket wear on the handle scale. Right hand tip up deep carry clip. Button lock ball bearing flipper. And there is your MagnaCut blade. Blade length on the Malibu is 3 5/16. The handle is 4 3/16. Flipping action is great. Blade centering is perfect. Lockup, dead rock solid. Currently out of stock. When last available, they had a web retail price of $225. We ran this one last week at $180, dropped it to $170 for the weekend. This week's price, $160. That'll be the cheapest MagnaCut Malibu I think we've ever sold. $185 if you'd like it with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. Next up, we have the steal of the sale. It's a Microtech knife, but it's going to come in a Chris Reeve warranty box or a reissue box, because apparently my seller had some of those laying around. It is the Dirac Delta. Model number 227-4. Black hard anodized, easy for you to say, aluminum handle. Standard clip anchor bolt with carbide, or I guess that's a steel ball bearing, glass breaker. Serial number is 14813. Born May of 25. Has the side mounted firing button, dual action, out the front automatic. A stunning satin double-edged blade, and the blade steel is right there, M390. 3 3/4 blade, 5 5/8 handle to the end of the glass breaker. I'm going to call it a medium firm button. But because of its orientation, it's easy to use, even though it's kind of a heavier button. Just the way the knife lies in the hand makes it easier, as you can see. We'll call it near mint to like new, no box. These are available new for the web retail price of $374. We ran this one last week at $250. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $250 for the week, or $230 for the weekend. It is still here. Your price this week, $215. Are you kidding me? For a Dirac Delta? That is it. Next up, another Microtech. This one is in its original box. Model number 240-10, Troodon Mini, Tanto, Stonewash Standard, serial number 066. That's a low number. I kind of dig this knife. It's a Cali legal auto, dual action out the front, standard Microtech clip, serial number 066, born September of 2020. What a cutie. Little Tanto blade, a hair under 2 inches. And this is in CTS 204P. Handles 3.5 to the end of the glass breaker. Black hard anodized aluminum handle. Gorgeous Tanto with the perforated fuller. Satin flats, stonewash bevels. Just looks awesome. I'm going to call it a medium button, 100% reliable. They are out of stock. When last available, they had a web retail price of $300. We ran this one last week at $220. Didn't sell. We dropped it to $205 for the weekend. This week, $195. That's correct. Makes a great little money clip too, by the way. The Troodon Mini Tanto from Microtech. And next we have our last leftover from last week. It is from the Chaves Ultramar series, red box, as you can see. The knife inside is the Redencion drop point, all titanium handle with patinaed brass inlay. An exclusive for someone, I don't know who. Here is the knife. I keep moving my background. Probably the most iconic pattern from the Chaves Ultramar line. All titanium. You only get one clip with the red box offering, and it's the Mick Jagger skull clip. Knife opens with thumb studs, rides on ball bearings. The drop point gives you a little Hinderer-esque thicker bevel, flat ground bevel on the nose of the knife. So cool in its profile and its grinds. Blade Steel's S35VN on this one. 3 5/16 blade, 4 1/4 handle, titanium frame lock with 3 o'clock lockup, which I prefer geometrically. Does have a steel lock face insert, locks up pretty doggone early. An extremely free blade, but it does have a fair amount of lock bar tension. And your centering is going to be bang on. How's the lockup? Well, it's rock solid. Condition, near mint in box. Out of stock and unobtainium. Can't find one of these brass inlaid Redencions anywhere. We ran this last week at $225. It did not sell. We dropped it to $205 for the weekend. It's still here. This week's price, $199. Like it is, $219 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That's the Redencion drop point red box from Chaves Ultramar. And that brings us to the fresh stuff for this week, and we're going to start it off with the little run of knives from Mr. Pena, his X series. The first one is the Pena X series Barlow number 3. Very interesting knife. You could call it a fusion knife, but it's really a modern folder. It just has sort of the pattern profile of a traditional knife, which would be a straight-handled Barlow. Burlap micarta scales, we'll call them scales, not folders. Look at the little blued titanium screws that hold the scales on. Then you got your milled titanium pocket clip that's right-hand tip up. It's a titanium bolster lock, and the titanium scales, liners, and bolsters are integral pieces on each side. And then you have a solid titanium backspacer. It's a front flipper. Let's see. Look at that. He did it. Gorgeous sheep's foot blade. Nice little swedge to highlight that front of the spine. Full height hollow grind on an M390 blade. 2 15/16 is your blade length. 3 3/4 is your handle. It is a titanium bolster lock with a steel inserted lock face. Lockup is dead rock solid. Ball bearing action is super free, super smooth. Centering is perfect. Great little knife in the hand. Good utility blade. Just some super fine scratches. It's actually done some cutting. And you're going to see them happen just going through material. Some little hairlines right along that top of the hollow grind where it would meet the material as it's slicing through. But very, very slight. Just mentioning them because you might notice them, but you'll probably have to look hard. Anywho, these are out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail of $394. This one can be yours. Near mint inbox, $190 like it is. $215 if you'd like my edge on it. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Barlow number 3 front flipper from the Pena X series. And next up, it's another one from Enrique Pena's X series. This will be a Zulu front flipper with burlap micarta scales. It's like there's a theme. This is a super cool knife. So again, it's a modern folder, and it is a ball bearing front flipper constructed of titanium, but it's got that gorgeous burlap micarta, those beautifully blued titanium screws, milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. And you'll notice the handle is a curved handle trapper pattern from the traditional days. And the blade, it's kind of a Tony Bowes tip of the cap. It's got that Zulu spear in M390. This is flat ground with a very high saber. Blade length is 2 13/16. The handle's 3 5/8. Titanium bolster lock. The liners and bolsters are integral slabs of titanium milled out to accept the burlap scales. Solid titanium backspacer. There is your lock engagement. It'll be rock solid. Ball bearings are beautifully free and smooth. And the centering is bang on down the middle. See, can I front flip it? You bet I can. Son of a gun. As a lifelong Zippo person, you'd think I would be better at front flipping than I am. But I'm getting there. Love this little knife. By the way, near mint inbox, discontinued, out of stock, unobtainium. Your price, $195. Why is it $5 more than the Barlow number 3? Because this one appears to have had no use. I find 0 scratches in the blade. Beautiful, beautiful little knife. And next up, we will complete our triumvirate of Penas with this one. This is the Pena X Series Raptor in burlap micarta. So it's not a Barlow and it's not a curved-handled trapper. I don't know what I would call that handle profile, but it's definitely a nod to traditional slip joint pocket knives. All titanium construction with the bolsters and liners being integral slabs milled out for the burlap. Right hand tip up milled titanium pocket clip. Beautifully blued body screws. It's also going to be a ball bearing front flipper. Anybody can front flip this one. And we have kind of a stylized sheep's foot hollow ground M390. 2 13/16 blade, 3 3/4 handle. Steel inserted titanium bolster lock, locking up thusly. You could almost, could you? No, I guess not. But you can definitely do that. That's the easiest front flipper I've ever used. This will be near mint in box. You could almost call it like new. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. They're unobtainium. I think they were in the high 300s web retail when new. Your price for this one, $195 like it is, $220 with my edge. Next day sharpening available on the Pena X Series Raptor. 3 cool Penas tonight. Just pick which one fits you best. Can't go wrong. Next up, we have a super cool knife. And you guys know me. I would never buy this knife. It's Chinese. The box looks Chinese. The name sounds Chinese. It's a Kunwu. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. The product name, the model, is the Django XL. Model number X707XLT-3. Looky here. Oh. So we have a crossbar lock mechanism. And I know it uses Omega springs because it gave you 2 extras in case you need them. So it's a Benchmade axis lock. Notice also in this baggie is a deep carry wire pocket clip. But the one that comes mounted on the knife is a tumbled DLC black milled titanium ambidextrous tip up pocket clip. The scales are beautifully diamond milled titanium. Looks like the back spacer might be black G10, maybe. Looks like some Timascus or Mochatai pivot collars. Opens with a hole beautifully. I think it rides on ball bearings. I would say that's correct. It's an axis lock, so let's fling it. All right. We've got what looks like a PVD coated black blade, nice fullered clip point, very high flat grind. Blade steel is Elmax. Not sure if that's written anywhere on it, but that's what it is. Pretty cool clip point. 3 5/8 inches long. The handle's 5 3/16, so blade to handle ratio is a little funky, but it works so well. Even got a forward finger choil that an actual full-size American finger can fit in. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action's amazing. And how's the centering? Can we see it? Let's see. It's perfect. Condition on the Django XL, like new in the box. Currently available for a web retail price of $279 plus tax, and that's not an insignificant number. I think that takes you to $300 in most places. Your price for this one, $225 like it is. $250 with an ApostleP Edge, and that's all in, shipped, priority mail. The Django XL from Kunwu. Next up, we have one of only 2 Spydercos in tonight's sale. And it's a special one. Whoops. From Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth, we have the pair 3 in carbon fiber and Elmax. And these were a dealer exclusive, a distributor exclusive for Troodon Lock Company. So they must be a Spyderco distributor who then sells to retailers. So if you were Blade HQ or Knife Ship Free, you couldn't order this knife from Spyderco. You had to get it through Troodon. And I don't know that I've ever seen one. A beautiful marbled carbon fiber handle. I mean, spectacular marbled carbon fiber. 4-way clip. The original is in the box, and it's wearing a satin finish Casey Lynch deep carry titanium affair. Opens with a thumb hole. Rides on phosphor bronze washers. Does that Elmax blade. Just beautifully finished, by the way. A gorgeous satin. Blade length on the pair of 3, 2 15/16, handle 4 1/4. Compression lock mechanism. A free dropping blade with rock solid lockup. And doggone perfect centering. How could they do that? You're going to get with it an OD green paracord lanyard with, I'm going to call that an alien skull bead, and it looks like it might glow in the dark. I haven't tried it. But anyway, the whole shooting match, let's see, they are way out of stock and discontinued. There is one current listing on eBay. It is a buy it now, and the shipped price, $368. So you could go over to eBay and buy that one, or you could just buy this one for $250, like it is. $275 with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available. Next up, we have one from Hoback Knives. And it doesn't come in the wooden box. You just get this beautifully padded pouch that apparently is also made, I don't know. We have a black Stallion Warhorse. The COA is a little bit dog-eared, worse for the wear. Let's see. The handle length is 4.58 inches. The blade length is 3.07 inches. I measured it longer than that, didn't I? I measured it. No, I didn't. That's what it is. Blade material is crew wear. The handle material is titanium, and everything is in the battle-worn gray finish. There you go. Beautiful fluted titanium. I'm not sure what the coating is that they do the battle-worn gray in, but you can see it's applied and then it's sort of scuffed, satin finished. The pocket clip is ambidextrous tip up and titanium. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock with the Hoback rolling detent. It's a ball bearing flipper, of course, and you can see that sort of battle worn finish on the blade. Lockup is, I don't know, 45% ish. About a 3 o'clock lockup. Nice little area of jimping they give you to release the lock bar. Flips beautifully, locks up dead solid. Centering's about perfect. So let's see. We'll call it near mint, no box, discontinued, out of stock. One recent sold knife on Arizona Custom Knives did $565. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $375 like it is. $400 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Black Stallion Warhorse from Hoback Knives. Next up, we have one from Schatt and Morgan. So this would have been, I think, 2004 production. So this was when Schatt and Morgan and Queen were in the Titusville Schatt and Morgan factory, and after the Daniels family had purchased. The model is the Baby Sunfish, Schatt and Morgan Baby Sunfish. A rather beautiful knife. Red worm groove bone. Big Schatt and Morgan shield. Chamfered bolsters. And on this bolster we have Schatt engraved, and then we have Morgan. So Schatt and Morgan. Now, if you did that backwards, it would say Morgan Schatt. So you British people will laugh at that. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. It's an equal end, opposite end jack, but it's a baby sunfish, so you're going to get a broad spear point main on a cam tang. Beautiful fire and wire etch, ATS 34 steel. The closed length is 3 5/8, so the blade approaches 3 inches in length. And then the secondary is a broad pen. And just check out the walk and talk. Very nice cam tang walk and talk. And how's the rub situation? Very, very, very slight rub right at that shoulder. But the blades are beautifully aligned. And they do congress in the handle. Gorgeous piece. In near mint to like new condition. It is extinct. Not ever to be made again, where they were made, by whom they were made. Actually found some of these in different cover materials on eBay in the sold listings, and they ranged between $160 and $250 sold. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $150 like it is, $175. I sharpened both blades. Schatt & Morgan Baby Sunfish from 2004. Next, we have a knife that comes with no box. I'm not sure these came in boxes. I don't think they did. It's from Fiddleback Forge, and you can see the leather work is outstanding. Not sure who made these. Whose maker's mark is that? BH? I don't know. Maybe you guys can read it. I don't know. Fire steel loop. It can be a high ride. It can be a low ride. And here's the knife. It's the Bushcraft Carta. I would call this a beautiful carving or whittling fixed blade. Big, generous handle. Small carving blade. Great EDC fixed blade, by the way. Blade steel's A2. Flat saber ground or slightly convex. It's got that spalted finish. Scales are black palm. The pins are black, and then it's got toxic green and black liners. Beautifully hafted. I mean, beautifully hafted. Very ample lanyard hole. Superb in the hand. I mean, superb. 2 9/16 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Like new in the box. Out of stock at about $340 web retail. Very nice point on this knife. Let's see. Sold listings on eBay. Similar configurations. I couldn't find the exact black palm with these liners, but those sold listings between $285 and $337. This one, $250 like it is $270 with an ApostleP edge. Near mint to like new, no box. The Bushcraft Carta from Fiddleback. Next up, here is a custom fixed blade from a maker that obviously watches Fiddleback. And it comes in a Diomedes black leather clip sheath with cream stitching. Beautifully made. The knife is from Osprey Knife and Tool, and it is the Tusk. The Tusk. This is bladed in CPM 154 with a spalted flat that emulates forging marks, but probably not forged CPM 154. There'd be no reason for that. The blade length is 2 3/8. Does have a beautiful tapered tang. Blue liners, OD green, canvas micarta scales with black pins. Again, just beautiful in the hand. The pinky likes to hang out on the back side of the horn with my hands. Even in the overhand pinch grip, it likes to be off the back. Very nice. Great index finger and thumb indexing in that Coke bottle-y handle. Beautifully made. And there's your Osprey knife and tool maker's mark etched into the spine. Love it. So let's see. You can buy these new from Osprey's website, I believe. $280 is what this one would run, plus the Diomedes sheath, which ain't cheap. You'd be over $300 easily. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, like new, no box. $195 like it is. $215 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That's the tusk from Osprey Knife and Tool. Next up, I have a work tough knife with no box. I do have a remnant of the box. It's the Timberwolf in SK85. In the box, it looks like you got a sticker, a polishing cloth, a tech lock, some paracord, some screws, maybe a Velcro patch, and then a little bottle opener and key ring from Work Tough Gear. And this is the Timberwolf. Comes in a pancake construction OD green Kydex sheath. How's the thumb brake work? Pretty well. I just shot all my knives over there. We have what's called a dark washed finish on the blade, which is like a deep acid stone wash, beautifully done. Swedged drop point with a little run of jimping that, although short, is very effective. Blade steel's SK85, which is like a 1085 Crovan. Blade length is 3 5/8. The handle is 5 1/8. 3D machined black, gray, and toxic green G10. They call it, what do they call it? They call it green camo G10. It's got a little Coke bottle. It is super comfortable in the hand and can accommodate a very large hand. Just a super nice blade. And one thing a lot of people don't realize about Work Tough, they do a polished convex edge at the factory, and it's sharp, guys. I mean, it's sharp. That's factory edge. Bravo. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but it doesn't need my help. Like new, no box with goodies. This model is out of stock. When they were available, they were $130, which is a steal. I don't know if the Kydex was included, but you can't buy a new one. You can buy this one. It's $110 like it is, $130 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available, but again, it doesn't need to be sharpened. Next up, we have one from Bradford, USA. It is a Guardian 4.5. I'm not sure what S means. Scaled, maybe? In 3V. And it's got a little party trick. It doesn't come with that, let's say, I don't know, not great Bradford sheath. This one comes with a beautiful fold-over construction Kydex sheath with a mini tech lock. Absolute zero rattle. Superb thumb brake. Again, I just knocked over a bunch of knives. Look at that. Gorgeous drop point. High saber ground. Looks like 5/32 stock. Nice jimping that comes all the way back into the handle area, and it's very sharp, but not aggressively sharp. It is scaled and beautifully Coke bottle profiled. Natural canvas micarta. The blade length is 4 1/16. Now, I think if this came with the base scales, it would be 4 1/2 because you wouldn't get, your scales would stop about here. But these are more full and more effective and make the knife more usable. Yeah. And they're removable, of course, if you have that spanner. Blade steel's 3V. The blade finish they call dark wash. It looks like some kind of a black oxide or a DLC coating that they tumble post-application. We'll say it is like new in box. So these are available right now for $259 web retail, but they will come with that base sheath. I believe the Kydex is about a $25 upgrade, maybe more. So let's say you'd be at close to $300. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, like new in box. $200 like it is, $225 if you'd like my edge. And that's the Guardian 4.5 in natural canvas and 3V from Bradford. Next up. Oh, it's GEC time, and a lot of it. First off, we have one from... Oh, I got the wrong tube. Ouch, ouch. There we go. From the Titty line, handcrafted Titty cutlery. Model number 130124. That is the 13 Whip. The Whip. It is a small to medium Congress chassis, but it's a single blade. Beautiful Cocobolo covers, corset shield, nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Nice beauty mark in that Cocobolo. Great looking covers on this knife. And the blade is that sexy, skinny Wharncliffe in 1095. Knife is 3 3/4 inches closed. It's a longer knife than it looks. It seems like a small knife, but it's really slim. Superb. Pull weight about 6.5. Walk and talk are great. Centering is perfect. Condition will be near mint to like new in tube. They're out of stock. Sold listings on eBay. Similar model. So this configuration with different covers. Couldn't find a Cocobolo. But selling between $155 and $221. Let's go $150 on this one. $170 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Titty 13 Whip in Cocobolo. Time to turn the page. And next up, we have the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. It's a Great Eastern Cutlery Northfield Unexcelled pocket knife. Model number 130224. I believe they call this the Clerk because it's the two-bladed version, and it's in Sandbar Stag. And to just say Sandbar Stag does not do this knife justice. The reason it's the Rob's Pick is because of that. Are you kidding me? So that's the mark side, or the show side for you modern folder guys. And as we know, if they put a piece of Stag that spectacular on the mark side, they probably cheaped out on the pile side, right? No. Look at that. That is some stunning Stag. The physical match, pretty doggone nice. Oh, guys. It's a beauty. 3 3/4 closed length. Main Wharncliffe. In the Northfield, you get a long pull and a cut swedge. And the secondary blade is a pen on the opposite end. This has a lightish pull. I'm going to call it a 5, maybe a 5.5. But beautiful walk and talk. And let's see how well aligned the blades are. We're going to do that by looking for rub. And just a tiny bit right at the shoulder. So blade alignment really good. That's a tight package the way those blades congress. You're always going to see a little rub. Near mint to like new in tube. Out of stock, unobtainium. Can't find a sold listing or one for sale anywhere. What a stunner. Your price, $185 like it is. $210 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. The 13 Clerk in Stag from the Northfield line of Great Eastern Cutlery. Next up, more GEC. This time it's a Titty. And there's old Urban Jack himself. giving testimony for his pocket knife. It's a 15 Urban Jack model 153224 in elderberry jig bone. It'll come with Urban Jack's button. Oh, and you get a pocket knife too. There you go. Beautiful peach seed jigging on the elderberry bone. Nickel, silver, and brass. Big old Urban Jack shield. It is 3.5 inches in closed length. Has a main sheep's foot with Urban Jack's picture. Long pull cut swedge on a titty ute. How about that? Secondary implement is called a bar tool. Looks like a mustache comb to me. That's how you get the foam out of your mustache while you're drinking some beer, I guess. Pull weight. I'm going to call that a 5.5. Beautiful walk and talk. Both tools beautifully centered. Near mint to like noon tube with button. These have crept up in value, guys. The only elderberry Urban Jack I could find sold recently on eBay did $236 shipped. Your price for this one, $170, like it is. $190 with an Apostle P edge, and next day sharpening is available. That's the 15 Urban Jack from GEC and Titty Ute. Next up, more Great Eastern Cutlery awesomeness. This is a Northfield unexcelled knife, the Old Sheffield Jack, model 392222 in Pioneer bone. Comes with a button and a knife. The 39. So they kind of took a 15 and bent it. It's a slightly curved handle standard jack. Tip of the cap to English knife making. Oval shield, double line nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, beautiful Pioneer bone. Sort of a semi-hafted bone, leaving some of that bark. Blade set, main spear, long pull cut swedge, Northfield unexcelled etch. Beautiful walk and talk. Standard 7 pull. Secondary blade on the front, on the same pivot, is a pen blade. Closed length, 3 7/16. I'm going to call the centering very, very close on those blades. They're almost perfect, but not quite. Condition. Near mint to like noon tube with button. They are out of stock. Only one sold listing on eBay for this knife and this cover material. It did $245 sold and shipped on eBay. Your price for this one, $195 like it is. $220 with my edge. The Old Sheffield Jack number 39 from the Northfield line of Great Eastern Cutlery. Next up. Ooh. We have a Great Eastern Cutlery Northfield unexcelled pocket knife in jigged American cattle bone from the GEC Bone Works. It's a number 48 Slim Trapper, model 488224 in antique yellow jigged bone. And it'll come with that jigged cattle bone button. Here is the stunning little knife. Double line bolster, plain end cap, and nickel silver brass liners. 3 7/8 inches of closed length. Federal shield. The blade set is a muskrat clip point with a beautiful cut swedge and a nail neck. There is your jigged American cattle bone etch. Secondary blade is a big long pen. Beautiful. Pull weight, I'll call that a 6.5. Beautiful walk and talk. Both blades perfectly centered. Condition will be near mint to like new in tube with button. Sold listings on eBay in similar covers. I couldn't find this exact cover set, but those range between $170 and $220. Don't think you're going to find a nicer one than this one. Let's go $170 like it is. $195, I sharpened both blades. That's the 48 Slim Trapper from Great Eastern Cutlery's Northfield line. Next up, oh, we have a long tube. That means big knife. Yeah, it is a 65 Ben Hogan, model 651122 in Indian paintbrush jigged bone. And notice the button says Northfield Bullet. Yeah, looky there. Love that Indian paintbrush red bone and the unexcelled bullet shield. Triple line and pinched bolsters. And notice that the bolster on a 65 Hogan looks a lot like a Kunwu. Brass liners. Single clip point blade. And what a stunner that is. Yeah. Long pull cut swedge. Unexcelled etch. Closed length 4 9/16. Not a tiny knife. Pull weight, I'll call that a 7. Perfect walk and talk. And the centering, I'm calling very close. Condition, near mint to like new in tube with button. They're out of stock. Sold listings on eBay range between $153 and $190. On this rather beautiful example, you can have it for $160 like it is, $180 if I sharpen that big, beautiful clip point blade. That's the 65 Ben Hogan Bullet in Indian paintbrush. Next. Oh, guys. This would be the save me from myself moment tonight. It is a Northfield unexcelled Great Eastern Cutlery pocket knife. It is the 87 English Jack in church glass acrylic, model 871223. And you're also going to get the English Jack button. And here's the knife. Oh my. So that acrylic is made to emulate shards of stained glass. Doesn't it look beautiful? This is kind of a continuation knife. Remember the Washington Jack? Yeah. Which was kind of a GEC homage piece to the 20T from the Schrade Oldtimer line. Great history. But that's where we get this rat tail pinched and doubled lined bolster and the chamfered end cap with unexcelled etch or unexcelled stamp. Beautiful pocket knife. 4 7/16 inches in closed length. Main clip, and I'm going to call that a 7.5 pull, maybe an 8. Gorgeous clip point, long pull cut swedge. Stunning walk and talk. Front pen blade, big and usable. And I think both blades are very, very close. Let's see. Very, very close in centering. Condition near mint to like new in tube with button. Out of stock, new. Just one sold listing on eBay. It did $233. Let's go 195 on this one, 225. I sharpen both blades. The 87 English Jack Northfield in church glass from Great Eastern Cutlery. Next up, this is just a cool knife. I think it's interesting because what we have here is a Titty number 88 Bayou Trapper, but it's covered in Yeti ivory acrylic. So a Louisiana pattern with what, an Alaska themed cover. Gotta put that, there we go. You do get the Yeti button. And here's the knife. You guessed it, that acrylic is going to be white. But notice, it's got a little figuring in it, like a natural ivory would have. So the 88 sow belly is a very interesting pattern, don't you think? 4 inches of closed length. The blade set will be a muskrat clip or a special clip with the Yeti etch. The secondary blade, full-length lamb foot with Patty's potato peelers etch. Pattern production premiere. I know, Patty, you don't have to tell me. Pull weight, I'll call that an 8. The lamb foot feels a little easier because the nail nick is farther away from the pivot. Houndstooth shield, polished nickel silver bolsters and end caps, brass liners. Condition on this one is going to be near mint to like new and tube with button. One sold listing on eBay is all I could find. It did $195 shipped. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail for $170. $200. I sharpen both blades. The 88 Bayou Trapper in Yeti ivory from the Titty line of Great Eastern Cutlery. Next up, I have another GEC, and it is a rather rare SFO. It'll be a Titty knife, model number 933124 in smooth yellow bone for Circle A knives. This is a new one on me. So it's kind of a sway back, curved handle, trapper, beautiful smooth yellow bone, polished nickel, silver bolsters, bare end, diamond shield. Closed length is 3 15/16, and the blade is a full flat ground, drawn swedge, nail nick sheep's foot with Circle A etch. Pull weight, we'll call that a 7.5. Walk and talk, a little gummy, but it's pretty good. Knife needs to be used. Centering is perfect, by the way. Near mint to like new, in tube with button. So let's see. I couldn't find any sold listings on eBay for this knife, and I don't know how many they made. I can tell you this, though. There's some current listings on eBay, buy it now listings, and they want between $265 and $322. We're going to offer you this one at $215, all in, shipped priority mail. $235, I sharpen that big old sheep's foot blade. That's the GEC Titty number 93 for Circle A in smooth yellow. Next, we have Great Eastern Cutlery knives from How About the Truth? And at least 2 of these, I believe, were featured in TheApostleP Knife Service traditional knives anthology videos. We're going to go through them. And these are for Steve, who is How About the Truth on YouTube, my collaborator on the traditional knives anthology. And this is a super special knife. It's a Northfield unexcelled. It's an 85 bullet end jack or teardrop jack model 852113 EOL. Easy open liner lock in smooth ivory bone. Let's just read Steve's card. It is the Northfield 852113 EOL, easy open and lock, smooth ivory bone, special factory order for Mike Latham of Collector Knives, one of only 28 made this way. Featured in the Traditional Knives Anthology series. Only 3 handle choices for this run, which is the only time this pattern ever came with a liner lock. Very rare. All that's well and good, but wait till you see the knife. Wait till you see the knife. Manufactured in 2013. Oh my. Guys. I think these are about 3 11/16 enclosed length. I forgot to measure. Look at that smooth ivory bone. Gaining character with every passing day. Lined and pinched nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, cloud shield, single spear point blade with match striker long pole, cut swedge, satin, and no etch, which is how Mike likes to do them. You're going to see some very fine wiping scratches in that satin. And it looks like Steve might have tried to clean up a pepper spot down here. But anyway, your liner lock is going to rest on top of the blade tang, but no vertical play. Pull weight, if I use the pull, it's about a 7.5, and I go to the easy open, it's about a 7. Leverage. Blade centering, perfect. Near mint in tube, and here's the big thing. 2013 means the TIW tang stamp that went away, when, 16 or 17? A superb and highly collectible knife from GEC. It's just a stunning knife. Your price, $650, like it is. $670 if you like it with my edge. That's the 85 bullet end jack in smooth ivory and a liner lock from GEC in Northfield. Next up is our second offering from How About the Truth. It is a Northfield unexcelled premium pocket knife. Oh, it's just a 772215 Yankee Barlow special factory order for Mike Latham of Collector Knives, and it's in sandbar stack. Well, let's just see what the card says, shall we? We got a Northfield 772215 Yankee Barlow in killer stag. SFO for Mike Latham, one of 26 with the stag covers, the rarest of this entire run by far. Try finding this nice something, the newer knives. I don't know what that says. Anyway, let's take a look at the knife. Latham, no buttons, no etches. Looky there. Oh my. This will be an all-steel construction knife, bolsters and liners. There is your Markside stag. But wait. Oh, yeah. Let's look at the match. Not bad. Let's see. Closed length, 3 11/16. Main blade is in the front. It is a spear with a long pull cut swedge. Secondary blade on the backside is a long coping blade, almost like a sheep's foot. Pull weight, 8. Perfect walk and talk. Both blades perfectly centered. Condition, near mint to like new in tube. And let's see if I can find it. Wrong blade. TIW, Tang Stamp, Titusville Ironworks. Near mint to like new in tube, unobtainium. Good luck finding one of these anywhere. At least one that's nice. Your price, $5.95 like it is, $6.25 with my edge. From the absolute glory days of GEC. The 77 Yankee Barlow in Stag. Next up, our last GEC and our last knife from How About the Truth tonight. It is a Northfield model 381315 in Neptune acrylic. What? Yes, it is a unicorn. The Northfield 381315 Grinling Whittler, one of the finest Neptune acrylic handles. None of these were serialized, but there were only 17 produced. It is the rarest 38 Grinling Whittler by far. And by the way, Bill Howard has stated he will never produce this pattern again because they were a nightmare to make them right. And oh, did they make them right. Featured in our Rarest of the Rare Traditional Knives Anthology video, very near mint due to tiny, faint stains from preservative. He was too afraid to try to polish it, he says. Perhaps someone can. It's pretty slight stuff. Some dried, congealed preservative. I'll show you. There it is. The 38 Grinling Whittler. Lined and pinched bolsters. Cloud shield and stunning Neptune acrylic. I mean, stunning Neptune acrylic. Closed length is about 3 15/16, I think. The blade set, and it is a true split back Whittler. So there's a center spacer separating the two back springs. It splits them to run the secondary blades, and then they converge on that wedge spacer to run the main blade. The main blade is a clip point on a cam tang. Long pull, nail nick and a cut swedge, Northfield etch, and you can see the speckles of that congealed lubricant on the blade. I can't imagine that would be that hard to get rid of, but anyway. Beautiful walk and talk. We'll call it a 7 pull. I'm going to leave that main blade out to show you the coping blade secondary and pen secondary, both on half stops. I want you to look at the blade alignment. Look at how long the tip of that main blade is extending past the blade tangs of both secondaries and fitting perfectly between them. Amazing. So let's see. And a Titusville Ironworks stamp, by the way. Unobtainium, they're nowhere. You can't find one. You can buy this one though. $695, ship priority mail, $735 with my edge. Probably shouldn't sharpen this one. I'm just saying. That's the 38 Grinling Whittler in Neptune acrylic from GEC. Bear with me, I got a little cleanup to do over here. Let's see here. Talk amongst yourselves. Next up, we have one from Andre de ADV Tactical. Comes in a pouch. I'm not a big ADV guy, but this is cool because it's pretty light due to its Marble carbon fiber scales. This is the Pit Boss 2. Very interesting knife. Milled right-hand tip-up titanium pocket clip. I gotta think that liners might be titanium on this because it's very light, guys. Look at that. Kind of a nightmare ground spear point with a swedge. You can open this with a hole or a flipper. It's on ball bearings. It's in S35VN. So it's a button lock with what appears to be a safety, but it doesn't move. So I'm wondering if they made an automatic version of this knife as well that had a functioning safety. I don't know, but you can flip it, or you can fling it, or you can open it with the hole. Your blade length is 4 5/16, not a small knife. Handle length is 5 1/2. Lockup, dead rock solid. Ball bearing action, beautiful. Centering, absolutely perfect. We'll call this near mint to like new in pouch. Discontinued and out of stock for a while. There was a sold listing on Arizona Custom Knives with different scales. I think they might have been a micarta. I don't remember. No, they were a funky, flamed, goofy milled titanium. Anyway, that knife did $495. This one, let's do $375 like it is, $395 with my edge. The ADV Tactical Pit Boss 2. Next up, a bit of Spyderco history coming your way, boys. There's your box. There's your label. Model C40 GP. It's the Calsa. The Calsa. There's an interesting little knife, wouldn't you say? From Seki City, Japan. Bladed in VG10. We have a swedged spear point, saber ground with a big hump and an opening hole. Jat Singh design. I gotta believe this is a tactical knife with a system, right? It's a liner lock, black G10. So I don't know what the design philosophy is, but I know it's a famous pattern. Pocket clip is tipped down, ambidextrous. The blade length is 2 7/8, and the handle's 4 5/16. You can grip it there. You can grip it here. I'm not sure why you would. I'd love to know the thinking behind this knife because it seems a little unorthodox to me. And I believe it's on Teflon, which is interesting. Don't know the date of manufacture, but it's not recent, I don't think. I've never had one of these in my hand. Action centering lockup, all beautiful. I'm bleeding. I must have poked myself. Make sure I'm not getting it on the knife. I did. Doggone. I bled on somebody's new knife. There. Now we're clean. Anyhow, this is in like new in box condition. They're long discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay range between $200 and $287. We're going to offer this one at $180 like it is, $200 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Calsa, designed by Jat Singh from Spyderco. Next up, I got a cold steel knife that just makes me smile. In fact, you guys don't even need to buy this. Be fine. This is the Immortal from Cold Steel. That's a very interesting knife. If you could see the tattoo on my right upper arm, this blade shape will look familiar. So we have a very tactical handle. Big flare at the front. Triad lock mechanism. Opens with a plate. We have OD green G10 in the old coarse configuration, but it's got some 3D machining on it. Yes, it's the blade shape of a Roman gladius sword with a big, bold, immortal etch. On the backside, cold steel S35 VN Taiwan. It's basically a swedged Tanto. I don't know, it's very cool. The blade length is 3 13/16. The handle's 5 5/8. Triad lock mechanism, runs on phosphor bronze. Centering will be perfect. Action, I got the wrong hand here. Well, you could wave it better than you could fling it, but anyway. Action's nice. Lockup is, it's a triad lock, guys. It's rock solid. Pretty cool blade. Let's see. Near mint to like new in box. Discontinued, out of stock. I have no idea how much these were new. They didn't last long. Your price, $65 like it is. 90 with my edge. That's the Immortal from Cold Steel. Next up, oh my. This is one of the coolest Cold Steels I've ever seen. It is a limited edition, launch edition of the Mayhem. Search that model number. The Mayhem. Oh my. I like big blades and I cannot lie. The handles, standard texture, layered black and red G10, Atlas lock, which is a lot like a shark lock, by the way. Can't tell if those are steel or aluminum liners. You guys can probably look that up. Serial number's 327. Ready? Oh my. Dude. Look at that thing. That is 5 15/16 inches of satin finished S35 VN. The knife rides on phosphor bronze, or could be phosphor bronze with Teflon. Didn't look. Very free action, maybe too free for a knife that big. Look at the blade centering. Almost 6 inches of blade. How's it lock up? Oh yeah. Dead solid. I kind of like that Atlas lock. You can really see what's going on in there. Oh, both clips, right and left hand tip up, are included. I gotta quit bleeding on my knives here. Don't worry, I'll make sure they're cleaned and disinfected. So, discontinued, out of stock. When these were available, they had a web retail of $300. There's one sold listing on eBay for this knife. It did $325 shipped. Your price for this one, $250 like it is, $280 with an ApostleP edge. The limited launch edition Mayhem from Cold Steel. Next up, more fun. It always makes me smile when we get a Paragon knife in, because they do some fun stuff. Made in the USA. And the knife that we have is the Para XD BLS. Clean and lube regularly, it says. I don't know. What we got is a single action out the front automatic. And if you aren't familiar with single action, that means the button makes them go out, but there's no button to pull them back. So you depress the button, and then you place your finger here, and you slide it back. There is a safety on this knife. The advantage of the single action is that deployment is more robust than a double action knife. And that is a sharpened top edge on a Tanto blade. And the blade steel is S30V. The blade length is 3 9/16. The handle's 5 3/16. And this is, I don't know if this is hard anodized or some kind of coated aluminum handle. The pocket clip will be right hand only. And the safety locks it out and in. Let's see. Yep. Condition, near mint to like new in box. Discontinued, out of stock at $210 web retail. We shall offer you this one at $120 like it is. $145 with my edge. That is the Para XD from Paragon, Asheville Steel. Next up, we have a box, a generic fake Pelican box that houses this knife. Matt Kuchara designed Kaiser KI5463A1 Bad Dog big knife in that kind of old school Kaiser contoured bead blasted titanium. It is a titanium frame lock steel insert, right hand tip up milled titanium pocket clip, ball bearing flipper with a beautiful recurve swedged spear point blade. The blade steel is S35VN. The blade is 4 1/4 inches. Excuse me. The handle, 5 9/16. Lockup, dead rock solid. It is a droppy shutty. Sorry about the hiccup. Perfect blade centering. Near mint to like new. No box. Discontinued and unobtainium. Can't find one anywhere. Gotta be worth $125 shipped priority mail. That is your price. $150 with my edge. The Bad Dog from Kaiser. And that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. It is from Civivi, but it is not a folder. That's it right there. It is the C20037 Bravo-1 Orthrus fixed blade. Kind of like it sort of has a Benchmade SOCP vibe, but it's even more interesting. You get a fold-over Kydex sheath with an Ulti-clip, and then you also get a tech lock. Check this out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cutting edges on this knife. It's actually kind of usable for a variety of things. Don't think that's a forward finger choil or it'll cut you, by the way. You got a black coated blade, and I forgot to look up the blade steel. Huh. Wait a minute. It's not a fixed blade at all. It's sort of a fixed blade. It's a 2-position, right? So you have that attitude and that attitude. Very, very, very interesting. Does it go back? No. Just those two. Uh-huh. Doggone it. Why didn't you look up the blade steel? I don't know. Does the box give us any insight? It might. Nitro V. Okay. Nitro V. Those are black G10 3D machine scales, by the way. And a ringtail. So, 3 11/16 blade, 4 1/4 handle with the ring. Near mint to like new in box. They're out of stock. When they were last available, They were $115 web retail on a retailer site. You can still get them on Civivi's site for $135. Your price for this one, $80, no need to sharpen. That's the Orthros fixed blade with an asterisk from Civivi. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. So grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. I'll talk to you soon.